Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Barefoot Minis. Happy spring 2026. I actually got the herd dewormed with their spring strongyne. That's pyrantel pamoate. That's one of the safer ones I found. It goes under the brand name Nemex for cats and dogs. It's one of the more effective but safe wormers. Fenbendazole is another one that's pretty safe, but I don't know, it's not quite as effective. And then ivermectin is also very safe and very effective. But if you've used it for the past 30 years, you may have an issue with parasites developing a resistance. So yesterday, that's what I did. I dewormed the herd, and I also got out the Shapley's MTG and spot treated all the horses with the MTG. Because I did some research, and when dealing with mites, not lice, but mites, and I suppose lice too, the vets used sulfurated lime, and MTG is sulfur. And I've tried everything, and I figured why not? I had it on hand already. I'll try the sulfur. A lot of people swear by MTG, but I hate the smell of it. But I should have tried it. I definitely should have tried it and not been so stubborn or thought of it, because I've tried everything else natural that I can think of. I have not tried Bonide. I have not tried Seven. And Seven was suggested to me, but I cherish my barn cat, Scotty, and she already has enough risks being out there in the wild. I did not want to hurt her. And I've done pyrethrins and permethrins, and they don't work at all. And Spot On was the first thing I use every year, and let me tell you, it damages their skin. So I don't think Spot Ons are a good choice. It just starts the whole cascade of mess of skin issues. Now, my mares aren't too bad. The horses that spend more time indoors are the ones that have the biggest issue with the missing patches of fur. The ones that get indoor-outdoor time and are outdoor more than indoor, they have much less of an issue, which tells me sunlight and fresh air are much better for them than being stuck in a stall, even if the stall's cleaned every day. And Joe's stall isn't particularly clean anyway because it's bedded with old hay. And it's bedded with old hay because he can't chew. So whatever is left in his laundry basket after he's eaten what he could of his chopped hay, I just dump it out and it's his bedding. So it's not particularly the cleanest stuff on earth. I did get some cedar side yesterday. I think I could try to just kind of spray down the barn with the cedar side versus spraying down the horses, because the horses just got their treatment of MTG yesterday, and I just don't want to mix anything else in the mix. They already have some cedar oil in their fur anyway from Coat Defense. Now the Coat Defense powder, it's pretty nice to deal with, and basically if you get it on your mouth, you just taste baking soda. I haven't really noticed there being much of a cedar flavor or anything in that stuff or scent. It's in there, but it's like the last ingredient. So this is what I did yesterday, and I didn't film it because horses are not always cooperative about trying new things on them. It would probably be a lot easier if I just haltered everybody and tied them up and treated them. But I just basically closed them in the barn, and I wore gloves because you get that MTG on you regardless of if you wear gloves or not. You never spray MTG because you do not want that up in your sinuses and your face. It'll burn. So, and it's not designed to be used as a spray bottle. It's kind of a lotion consistency. And so I just used nitrile gloves, and I got it on there, and I got it on the horses. I have been asked by a neighbor, how do you know so much? Well, I credit these. I credit growing up on a farm. You have to get so creative when you can't get the vet out at every whim. Now, vets are so important and so necessary because there's things we just can't do without them. They are definitely necessary. But for day-to-day things, you usually encounter something new every day with horses. Let's call this equine university because they teach you so much about yourself, about life, about getting along with others or not getting along with others. They really wear you out too, so that you don't have a whole lot of patience for others. That's why I'm kind of a homebody, because I deal with a lot of foolishness every single day of the year with these horses, and I wouldn't change a thing. I love it, but I don't have much tolerance left in me after having to figure out this or that. What I would love to do today, though, is trim Victory's hooves. They're not bad, mostly because his yearling year, it was a fight to who could grow faster. Could he grow faster or the hooves? And so it was about every 2 weeks I was trimming Victory's hooves. And I know this little horse is going to be stunning this year. It's funny what biases we have as horse people, because there's certain coat colors that we prefer. There's certain breeds that we prefer. And I love a nice black and white, but you ask my husband and they remind him of Holstein cows, the black and whites do. But that's funny because I don't really like Overos that much. I don't like bald faces that much because I grew up around Hereford cows and Hereford beef, and those horses remind me of Hereford cows, and so I can't stand them. I can't stand too much of a facial markings, too bold facial markings, and anything that gives that horse the appearance of a Hereford. It's kind of a turnoff to me because those were the beef cattle that we raised. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. So my attempt today, which I will add at the end of this video, possibly, or on the next video, is going to be using the angle grinder on Victory to trim his little teeny tiny hooves. And it's funny because someone I respect very much is like, I don't know, Romeo's beautiful. I don't know if you could get a prettier head than Romeo's head. She just loves Romeo's head. But I think Victory is going to be up there. He's going to be the package because he's going to be smaller too. He's going to be around the size of his mom, which Ness is a little leggier, and that's why she isn't in the 29-inch range, because she's really tiny everywhere. So Victory's going to have that benefit of being his mom, having her nice short body, which my herd lacks kind of a short body, because you can see here, even though Dove is the daughter of Vanessa, she has a little bit more of a long body and short legs like her dad, Joe. But Joe's really not. Joe kind of more produces that than is that. Joe is very exceptional for being an old style mini. He's got old style bloodlines, foundation miniature horse bloodlines in him, and they're actually pretty rare. So I can't knock them at all. They're very old style and very rare because his sire didn't start breeding until a later age. I'm not sure if he was double digits. I think he may have been 8 to 10 years old when he started breeding mares. So it gives you those more old style bloodlines. See, these guys are itchy. The other reason why I hate seeing the missing patches of fur and the possible issue with bugs. Now I say possible issue because I've never seen lice on my horses. Yeah, I've never seen, when you look at them with the naked eye, whatever they have going on must be microscopic, and I should take scrapings and just look at it under a microscope myself, and then I could determine exactly what we're dealing with. But as soon as spring comes, or summer, I'm sorry, and they shed, the problem is over. It's no longer an issue. They get glossy, they get shiny, they get grass, which is like a cure-all for horses, unless they get too much grass, and then that presents a whole bunch of problems. But there's no longer an issue with the fur. It's only a winter situation. So, well, that'll be what you'll look forward to in my next videos. That would be me working on the horses more with an angle grinder. And I gotta say, these mares don't need their hooves trimmed. Hallelujah. I love it when you give your horse a nice big dry lot to run around in, and they have a nice floor to grind their hooves down. They walk on the cement floor. They don't need their hooves trimmed more than once a year, if that. I have a couple in my herd that haven't had their hooves trimmed in a few years, and their hooves are beautiful, not a trace of thrush, and they're worn down to wild horse perfection, even better than wild horse perfection, because wild horses still get flares. So these guys have worn their hooves down to just perfection. So I think last year, for the entire mare herd, the only ones I trimmed were Dove and Niobe, the two that are the sisters, half sisters, that are grooming each other and looking at me right now. So yesterday I went out and did chores, and I thought, I don't want to put the ducks out because that means I'm going to have to go back out later and put them in. But it was just raining so much, I couldn't refuse them their outdoor play. So they went outside and played all day, and then I went and put them away, and hey, it was worth it. They had fun. I appreciate the fact they love terrible rainy weather, because I sure prefer the sunny weather, but they love that rain, and it's a good reminder to us that rain's a good thing too. Rainy weather's a good thing, and ducks sure like it. So their attitudes make me see things in a different light. Their attitudes are kind of cute in a way. And even though my Drake is highly aggressive right now, he's I know that'll pass and he'll be sweet and gentle again come fall and winter. So you just kind of put up with it. And I've also gotten used to my stallions. They just know what I will put up with and what I won't, and so that even when they test me, I get after them, and you don't have to smack them or beat them or scream at them. Well, maybe scream at them a little bit. You make them think that they made a big mistake for 3 seconds. You do it almost immediately, or they already forget what they did that was wrong. So, well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful spring so far, and have a wonderful weekend as of this recording. Jesus loves you.